I want to introduce my family who's here tonight, and I also want to introduce our original volunteer and a gentleman who used to feed the homeless with me across the street so many years ago, and somebody who's stuck with us all these years, Bradley Solomon. There he is. And I think that we should, before I talk about my family, I want to give a recognition to a young lady who works for us who's about to start her own family, Nancy Alecki. She did a fantastic job on this event and on all of our events. So Nancy, wherever you are, I can't quite see you. I want to, before I get to the main event, which is my wife, Harriet, and she is, I want to introduce the rest of my family that's here tonight, and we'll begin with the youngest. My daughter, Ashley Strebe McDonald, who I got to introduce to the mayor tonight as his newest employee. When she stands up, you'll see what I mean. She's an angel of mercy. She just became an EMT, and if you live on the Upper East Side of Manhattan and you need an emergency ambulance, this is what's going to come. Ashley, stand up, please. She just graduated the other day. My daughter Abigail, who's here, the grandmother of our 6-year-old granddaughter Emma. My son John, who is the proud father of our 2 grandsons. Their names are Johnny and Tommy. And I want to introduce Harriet's father and my father-in-law, Manny Carr. Manny's 95 years old, and his lovely wife, Barbara. In my life, 2 people who knew me the longest and the best, whose opinion I value, have told me that without Harriet, I would be nothing. Those are, in fact, the exact words my dear departed father would tell me every time we spoke until he died at 86. The other, my mentor in business and still a good friend, Gus Van Sant Sr., thinks my life changed completely when Harriet and I got married all those years ago, and that she is responsible for my success. When Gus saw the A&E film, he sent me an email saying, "You're part Elmer Gantry, part Billy Graham, and part MLK, and all George." He said he laughed so hard he had tears in his eyes, and that he was so proud of me. My father would say that he was also proud of me. That's a long way from what he said when I first moved to Manhattan. "You have all my worst qualities and none of my best," he said. Harriet approached me at the funeral of a girl who had killed herself on the very steps of the church where Harriet and I were standing, St. Agnes, a half a block away from Grand Central, right over here. Harriet was a screenwriter from Beverly Hills who had spent 2 weeks with April, the young girl we were burying, and now wanted to talk to me about her. We had drinks at the Lion's Head in the Village. I told her I knew April from feeding homeless folks at Grand Central, where April lived. And that I started the Dough Fund after the death of another homeless woman known only as Mama, found dead on Christmas Day, 1985, on a bench in the waiting room. I had to identify Mama's body, but it was April that brought Harriet into my life. Reading Harriet's screenplay was like a window into her soul. You could call it love at first read. She was also gorgeous, We spent the weekend together. I went with her to California, met her parents, her 10-year-old daughter at that time, Abigail, got married and came home. With the generous help of Harriet's parents, Manny and Francis, including them, we all moved into the small building on East 84th Street that still serves as our home and office. From our basement, we planned and strategized. We dreamt big. We wanted to build an organization that would change the way people thought of homelessness. We looked at hungry, homeless people and saw a workforce. Harriet and I recruited our first program participants for Ready, Willing, and Able, right from the floor of that terminal. Right from the floor of the terminal. Abigail started helping right away, sharing her room with Tina, a young friend of April's who moved in with us before becoming the wonderful, responsible citizen she is today. Over the years, Abs would bring many girls who needed a home to share hers. Soon we had fashioned an ongoing enterprise. That first year, my son John left Solomon Brothers, but not with $10 million, and became our chief financial officer. We started as a family business, and I'm happy to say that for these many years, my family has had the support of yours. The Belson family, the Resniks, the Schwartzes, the Carsons, the Ganchers, the Lucases, the Shafts, the Horners, the Jakubowskis, the Lex, the Fishmans, the Maddens, and the Coffins. And together, we've helped the men in blue redefine rebuild their families. Ready, Willing, and Able has helped thousands of men reunite with their wives and reconnect with their moms and dads. They've become brothers once again to their siblings, and most important of all, they are now parents, fathers to their children. All of this because of the families of supporters sitting right here in this room who, together with us, have made all this possible. What we celebrate tonight, really, is the timelessness of our shared common values. What was true then sustains us now. And ladies and gentlemen, Harriet, sharing her life with me, that's an honor, best of all, and one I enjoy.